Thank you to our 4 sponsors for supporting our podcast. Johnny Russell's Art Caterers and Milltown Pies, Alexander Grace Law, Jez and Lisa's Spoonful of Sweets, and SPE Furnishings. Links to their websites are available in the show notes and on our website. Don't forget to subscribe to get all the latest episodes as soon as they're released.
Right, so that's 2006. So you're at Reed as captain. So 2007, who did you play for there?
No, that's 2006 was the year I got the record, and 2007, the captaincy year.
Right. So then you look to you come to Lowerhouse in 2008. That's about right. What were you skipper then, Dooch?
No,
Finch.
Right, Finch. Yeah. Okay, so what circumstances are around?
commonly known as the lost years.
Well, I'm just going to say that year's sort of it's not really taught. It's a bit of a nothing year, isn't it?
I've touched on it a few times on here. We've sort of skirted around it, but never really got into it, because we look at the side on paper and think, well, how many points did they win the league by? But it just, for one reason or another, it just never really happened.
No, I think there was a point. You know, we started really badly, didn't we? And there was a point mid-season, we put a few wins together and we were sort of not close to the top, but we were within touching distance, and then we fell away again. But we just lost some ridiculous games, really. You know, games, like you say, with the team we put out, you just expect to win, but maybe that was the issue. You know, there was myself, Finchy, Blaise, Hassan, Brendan, Charlie. You know, it's as good a top six as you get in league cricket, really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I don't know. Do we need to have a full discussion around that, Dooch? You know, not now, but some other stage. Get Finch Dog on and see what went wrong there. Because we talk about that, Hassan. You know, we've talked long and hard about what a fantastic cricketer he was. You get Will coming in as a young lad. Finch is obviously outstanding. You know, Brendan Drew. It is a bit of a mystery, that.
Well, Finch only captained till must have been May at the latest. Thing that's when Charlie started captaining.
Right.
So there was a bit of a you know, an ill-tempered game at Burnley in the cup. I think Finch gave up after that. I think Matt gave up after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just one of them seasons, really. And I was convinced we were going to win the league.
Yeah.
It really was. I know it's daft to say, isn't it? But I just looked at the team. I just thought,
yeah,
can't lose. But
yeah,
that's cricket.
Yeah, go on, Joe Martin.
I think, so firstly, I think the majority of people thought we were going to win the league with the signings that we'd made. But I was just going to ask Will what he thought of his, unless I might be stepping on someone's toes, but considering how you did when you were pro at Accy compared to your output for that season at Lowerhouse, what do you think? Because did you score like 460 runs or something like that?
Yeah, something. I didn't get 500. I just put it down. Basically, I've gone all through my career. Then I'd gone from whatever level I'd stepped up to. You know, I'd scored runs and probably, you know, being overconfident, thought, you know, I'm just going to go in the Lancs League and do the same. But, you know, it became quickly apparent that it's just a totally different league. And I put good money on my stats. The second half of the season were a lot better than the first, because, you know, even the teams down the bottom were, you know, they tend to have a good pro who can bowl a lot of overs. They always have a good amateur. So runs were a lot harder to come by. So, yeah, just put it down to that, really. And I think it was a bit of a wet summer. I don't think it was a massive run scoring year. I know Brendan Hassan did well, but, yeah, a few things, really.
The other thing, Jez, just as a, you know, whilst I think it's really easy to forget that, well, you still wouldn't have been very old, and either, would you?
No.
How old would you?
19 yeah.
So, you know, you're still really young. You're still really young as a kind of cricketer, even though you've played so much cricket, and you know, kind of brand new to the league.
Well, I don't think any of the batters had a good season. I don't think any of the batters had a good year. Like I said, obviously Brendan did pretty well and Hassan, but think Blaise had a pretty average year, obviously by his standards, and Finchy, and just didn't click really.
Finchy was banned for half of it, wasn't he? So you've got to factor that into his stats.
Finchy was.
Yeah, he got banned, didn't he, for the ill-tempered game at Burnley that you referred to earlier. He did cop a couple of at least a couple of games for that.
Matt must have got banned then, but he gave up, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I remember him getting stuck in.
Well,
he did, because when he came back to play for us in the seconds last year, they were talking about whether that ban's still going to be in place from 2008.
Yeah.
he once subfielded for us, don't you remember, against Bacup? And there were people on the boundary edge wondering whether he could subfield because he was still supposed to be banned. 2011, I think.
He might have warranted a 12-year ban for what he said to me.
Oh, melting. Yeah, probably best left there, that, unless we have to start editing it all out. So, yeah, you're right there, Joe Martin. He's only a young lad, but he's come with great potential. I remember thinking, crack, this will be fantastic. Get Will to play for us for the next 10 years. We're going to go on from strength to strength. So that's the 2008 season. So the year after that, Will, I've got you down, just the research I did. You sub-pro'd for Accrington for 3 games. Is that just prior to your injury?
I played at Winton I went my first year at Winton 2009.
Right, okay. So you came back just to sub-pro, did you?
Sub-pro for Ake. I think it was the first 2 games. I did a couple of 2020s for Lowerhouse as well.
Yeah.
I think
Colne
and one at Burnley.
Yeah.
How did the Winton thing come about? Because I must be honest, before you went there, it's not a club I'd even ever heard of. So tell us a little bit about how that came about and how you dealt with leaving Lowerhouse again, because I don't really remember.
Well, part of we being at Lancashire, a college coach, the Myerscough cricket thing.
Yeah,
I was on that, and there was a lad who played at Winton. And another club to Winton had rung me asking if I wanted to go and have a chat with him about proing. So I went along, and it was near my mate's house. So I was due to meet him, and he said, "Oh, come and meet our captain." So I ended up meeting him as well, and got chatting, and that was the link. Really, I had a friend at Winton, and I liked what they had to say, and yeah, from there really decided to sign for them.
And you'd had a year at Lowerhouse. Had you, after that season had finished, had you decided that was it? That was just that year, or
no? I think being young and getting paid to play cricket probably suited my lifestyle. I know a lot of people say they go to enhance the game and stuff, but it's the money that tempts you, and you've got to be honest about it. So yeah, it was that. It's a long time, but I can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure it was not cricketing reasons, and the money's attractive in it when you're 19-year-old and you can't really be arsed working, and you got paid to sup at the weekend. So
yes. So that were you a paid amateur at Winton then in 2000? Or were you there pro?
No, I signed as pro. Yeah, I did. Yeah, signed as pro 2009. Yeah.
And how did that go?
Really well. I dislocated my shoulder again at the end of the season, but I started well and started bowling a lot more. Obviously, the league wasn't as good a standard, but there were still some good teams in it. Really enjoyed it. A cracking set of lads. As you know, still there now. So it's sort of become my club now. I've had friendships 10, 11 years. Just really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Just really clicked with the lads, and good family club. So yeah, it was good. Really enjoyed it. New grounds and stuff like that.
So are they in the Greater Manchester League now?
Yeah.
So what were they in then? Because
NDCA was then.
The Greater Manchester. All right.
Manchester Association, which not bad. Some good teams in it, but Bury, Swinton, teams like that. Some poor teams in it. Don't get me wrong, but some really good games of cricket.
Yeah.
Well, the Greater Manchester League's pretty good now. I think we're third tier, so not the best, but it's still pretty good. Some good games.
Yeah.
The top division is good.
Yeah, there's a lot of the old Bolton League, didn't they? They all amalgamated together, and
the association
and the association came into it as well. So that's interesting. So you went to Winton. How long did you pro at Winton for?
Just the year. Then on the back of my sub-proing for Ake, they offered me. I thought, that was an opportunity I couldn't really turn down, and so I signed for them.
So what was that like? Just tell us, because you've said yourself, you've done well at Winton, you've still got this injury, but to go back in the Lancashire League, you've already accepted it. It shot you a little bit at the standard where it was. So how did you feel about going back to pro in it?
Well, sort of the second half of the season, I'd done pretty well at Lowerhouse, and I thought I can score runs at this level, and it was felt pretty lucky to be offered to pro in the Lancs League. Obviously weren't daft. I knew it wasn't the standard of pro it had in the 90s, stuff like that, but nevertheless there was still Brendan Nash, Ali Anwar, Gary Brent, they're still good international players then, and I thought there's a good opportunity, and show what I can do really.
Yeah, and when I've been looking through your stats earlier this week, and I knew you could bowl. I knew you would. You're always competent coming on, but you got quite a few wickets. Not necessarily that year, but for Lowerhouse and for other clubs, you have got the wickets. So if you're getting the big amount of runs that you're capable of opening the batting, and you're coming in with 40, 50 wickets a year, it's a good. It's a good basis for a pro, isn't it? There.
Well, I always thought if you're pro, you need to contribute with both. I think. That's my opinion, because as a batsman, even if you get 1,000 runs, you're still going to fail 15 times throughout the season, and you've always got a second line of attack really to contribute.
Yeah, definitely. Joe,
I don't know if these are in your notes, but the remarkable thing, if you look at Will's stats from that year, and they were pretty good, 800 runs and 30 odd wickets. Something like that. If you compare them to the pro that they had the previous 2 years when they won the league with Roy Silver, Will's stats are so much better, I think. And yet, I mean, we played against you. That would have been one of my first full season at Lowerhouse. I think you scored 100 you scored 100 down here, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And because Dooch got you out in the rain-affected game with
we didn't start that game.
Big Turner.
Don't turn if they don't bounce.
Caught in 2 minds. He didn't know whether to hit it for 4 or 6.
I think at first team level, every full toss should be a no ball. If you can't land the ball on the pitch at first team level, no ball. You're not having it.
Yeah,
but Matt Doughty caught it as well.
Yeah. So you were doubly unlucky.
Yeah, I grew up with mine. He's got hands like Cal Sitch. I thought he was dropping this anyway. But off I went. Luckily it rained. But
scored 100. But why do you think that you didn't? They won the league the previous 2 years, I think. Why do you think that wasn't sort of translated when you came?
No idea. I think that's one of the reasons they signed me. I don't think they were expecting 1,000 runs, 60 wickets. They thought we can win the league with Roy Silver, Roy doing that. A bit more of a contribution from the pro. But the amateurs the when they won the league, I think did really well, didn't they? And it just didn't happen from the year I was there. And
did Bumble play the year that you pro'd?
Graham or senior?
Senior.
No.
Year before?
No.
Because he won the league down here. It's on video, isn't it?
I do remember, Joe. Yeah, I remember it very well. I just wondered if he played any games with Will. That was all.
No,
all right.
I didn't see him around the place that much, to be honest. But batting with Graham was a good experience. What a player. I actually remember playing against Aslington, and I was in the middle with Lloydie. We're batting together, and Graham Knowles walked past me and said, "Oh, it's a poor day when we're giving the amateur one to ball at the pro." innit? I thought, yeah. Well, then Phil Hayes walked past and went, "It's only what teams do with me and you, Graham." So, I was at the other end batting with Graham some days. I just thought, how am I pro in here? And he's in the ranks.
Yeah,
player.
No, that's fantastic player. So but you wouldn't have felt any pressure for that. I don't get the impression you were a type of cricketer that felt pressure and it affected you much. Whether it's Graham Lloyd or whether the fact you're going pro in the Lancashire League. How did you handle that?
I think it helped, obviously, when the games are sub-pro, I'd had a few runs, so I didn't feel I had to sort of impress anyone. And we played that, I think, the Colne Trophy game at the start of the season. and I got 80 odd then, and a couple of 50s to start the season. So it goes from there. If you have a bad start, I think that's when you start feeling the pressure and try other things and doubt yourself. But yeah, a good start's crucial. Really. I got one luckily, so yeah, it was a decent season.
You think there's any more pressure, you being like a local lad, you know, from league cricket and coming up through that way, as opposed to being some sort of international player, whether they're well known or not, coming into a club? Is it any? Do you think it's different, or do you think the players react differently to you?
No, I didn't feel that really. You know, I was pretty confident in myself then, and I guess that some people might feel it. You know, if the members disagree with the appointment or whatever, but everyone was, I can't fault the people at Aki. They were brilliant with me, so yeah, they made me feel comfortable straight away, and a good set of lads. It was, I enjoyed it. It was good.
No, that's good.
Do you feel like you had a bit extra to prove, Gary? Is that what you were getting at, really?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, stats were better than, some people assume that, we get an overseas player and they're just naturally better than what we can find, on our own doorstep. Not find, but you know what I mean, what's available on our own doorstep. And I was just wondering, I don't think we sort of necessarily played it in our time in that situation. But it would just cross my mind about how would the rest of the team think, or how would that person like Will or whatever think, or do I have to prove myself because there's bound to be some doubters, or I've heard some rumblings, whatever.
It probably would have happened, if I'd said I got 3 ducks on the bounce to start. I guess you feel it then, don't you? But no, everyone was supportive there, really. And like I said, the standard of the pros, obviously, it's not that there's quite a few English lads in the league that year. I think Bracewell was at Enfield, Phil Hayes at Azzy, so certainly didn't feel out of place or any extra pressure, really.
Yeah. Well, like I say, just looking through some of the games, because obviously I'd moved away by then, so I certainly didn't see him playing. But like you say, contributing both sides on a regular level and enough wins. So looking at stats, obviously games pan out differently sometimes, but looking at stats, there didn't seem to be any issues.
No, I'm proud of what I did there, really. Probably pretty nervous when I started, thinking, it's going to be a tough season. But yeah, I look back on that with a bit of pride, really. Decent season, pro in the Lancs League. And
fantastic opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely was, mate. It definitely was.
There were only 5 pros who scored more runs than you that year.
Yeah. I think I had 500 by the end of May or something daft. I had a really good start, and I think as a team we decided our best way of winning was the wickets being a bit juicier and dibber bowling teams out.
Shoots you a lot.
Well, I'm batting pro now when I'm knocking out. I just lay it out and get beat by 8 wickets. I'll be happy.
They could do it for 15 years.
So yeah, dibber was obviously our best weapon, but it's a lot of the time as well with the amateurs struggling. I did find myself sort of 30 not out, 7, 8 down, and you change your game. It's not really my game. Don't clear the rope or anything, and
no,
I probably could have got a few more, but yeah, still very happy with it.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say you never, and that was one of the questions I put down to ask you around the pressure side of it. Because we spoke to Ben Heap, who went pro in, and obviously we know about Joe Hawke, and going back in time, Graham Bushell and these other players that went from club, Lancashire League Cricket or Ribblesdale League Cricket and pro, and you never seemed to. You didn't seem to change. You were always daft as a brush. You never seemed to panic. You never seemed to think, "Oh, crikey, Will's struggling today." You always had that air of confidence. Was that a bit of a show, or is that just the way you could handle yourself? How were you feeling underneath?
It's a game of cricket, and I enjoy playing. And your persona might be different if you're struggling, but whilst you're playing well, you've got to enjoy it, haven't you? And I do think, especially when you're batting, I do think you've got to show a bit of confidence, haven't you? And not look timid and that, especially the Lancs League, because there's some wily old characters, if you will, and they'll soon get stuck into you. So it's
It's all credit. I think that's where if you can do it, that's the way to portray yourself. So that's fantastic. So that 2009 season at Accrington, what happened from 2009 2010? What were your movements then?
2010 was at Acke.
2010 at Accrington, yeah.
And then my shoulder went again. I had an operation on my shoulder. 2011, I went back to Reed, but I didn't play until the end of May because I was in a sling basically and had the operation. So
yeah, I
had the season at Reed. Then the year after, went back pro at Winton, and that's where I've been since.
Right. Any suggestion there of coming back to Lowerhouse or?
Yeah, well, I think did the 2013. Harry was born. He's based over here, and sort of life circumstances dictated the easiest thing for me and the most convenient thing was playing over at Winton, and I was enjoying it. I was scoring a lot of runs. I was proing. I didn't really see any need to move, and
no.
It's just life circumstance, I guess, dictated. It's
of course they do, yeah.
Place,
yeah. So that's 2013. Harry was born.
Yeah.
Did you say?
Yeah.
Cracky. I didn't think it was that long ago. I thought it was only 6 or 7. So that's I've got in my head, Will, that you were looking at proing, or you got approached to pro at Rottenstall.
Yeah, it was another one. Really. I was keen to do it. Harry had got a bit older, and I fancied the move again, but just life circumstances at home just dictated. I couldn't really. It was not possible to do. It's like having a young kid. It's especially being a single parent. It's something I'd like to have done, but it just wouldn't have been possible. It wouldn't have really been fair on either party, I don't think. And so it just fizzled out really. And
that just I just had it in my mind then that from the research I was doing that you were looking to go play at Rottenstall. So so I mean, they're really interesting stories there, Will, around the movement around cricket. What's some of your memories, some of your great games, and some stories of pros you played with or against that we can get out to the listeners?
Oh, I don't know.
Who's the best player you've ever played against? Pro-wise?
I think Chris Harris, when he was at Bay Cup, he was unplayable, weren't he? Some days, and obviously top batter. Obviously the wickets helped him, but you just couldn't read him. Couldn't read him at all. But he actually, when I was captain at Reed, we needed a sub pro. We got him in, and what a cracking bloke he was. He gave it everything, and he come for us, and had a few drinks with him after. And probably Chris Harris would be the best, I reckon, in the league. Yeah,
great.
Where would you rate Thomas Adoyo?
Not the worst.
He was a good player. He pro'd at Reed, didn't he?
Yeah, I've played with him.
No, I say.
But he was. He just played a World Cup. He played in the World Cup, so he come over, and we were thinking he's just going to win us the league, but I don't know. He just bowled about 60 mile an hour some days. What's this? Like throwdowns, but when he turned it on, he was a cracking player. But you think he'd come from Kenya and you're playing, I don't know, at Baxenden in April. It's gonna be tough, innit? But our captain think, come on, ball him out. But not that easy, was it? But he was a cracking lad. He was a cracking lad. Yeah, good player when
he was massive. He was massive. I can remember going to watch with your dad.
Big lad.
Very big. Yeah.
Slow though. Would have been quicker. That's some good pros. I think Sleep is the best pro I've played with, like in terms of an all-round package, if you will, as a pro. And enjoyed playing with Brendan. His standards were very high, and that was good. Lloydie and Dibber, they were great to play with. Well, that was probably the best thing about proing at Aki. You're turning up and you're trying to outdo the likes of Brendan Nash and Ali Anwar and stuff. Enjoyed them battles and always did all right. So,
how come you didn't go for a second year at Aki?
That's when I had the operation. So
of course, sorry,
I wouldn't have been available till May.
Yeah, of course.
What I don't know about that, Will. So what was the recurring problem with your shoulder? Was it just throwing bowling, or was it just something that you?
It's my left one. It just kept dislocating basically, so I had sort of full reconstruction really, screws in it, and I did have a keyhole operation when I was at Lancs, but it just kept recurring injury, and yeah, had to have the big op, and it seems all right, been all right, touch wood since. So,
do you think it affected anything in terms of all your continuity year by year with having those sorts of interruptions, or?
Yeah, possibly. I'm not sure. I've ended up back playing at Reed, and I was living at my dad's at the time, and he lives around the corner from Reed now, so I'm not sure I'd have been there if I'd have been fully fit. I'd have been at Accrington, so
yeah.
But, yeah, just one of them things. Luckily, it's been all right since. So.
And the other thing that I think we ask a lot of people that played in the era that you did, can you give us an appraisal of Finch's captaincy?
Do I need to?
He takes it all in very good heart, Will. He takes it all in very good heart, so be as honest as you can.
Shy. No, to be fair, Finch, he was great with me when I joined. You know, I thought his training was brilliant. You know, the sort of the training had really slackened off at Reed when, like I mentioned, when Sleepy left and stuff, and he did really make an effort. And I think the nets had just been built that year actually. But the training,
that's right. Yeah, they just opened that year.
You know, his methods were really good, and he tried to be really professional about it, but maybe not so natural to him on the field and dealing with people. Whereas when Charlie took over, it was like apparent. You know, he's a really like natural leader, isn't he? And you know, I think that's when we picked up and started winning some games. So yeah, I don't want to dog Finch because he was great with me, but yeah, he didn't win many games today, so
no,
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's probably best. When you if we just go back to playing at Accrington, because obviously I played against Dibber for years and years, and he's just metronomic with the way he bowls and what he knows, what he's doing with it. How did you find that? You mentioned then about the pitches and how they change the pitches. Were you comfortable with that because of being a batting pro? You know, you want good tracks for your own performance, or were you happy enough because the team were likely to win more games because of the way that the pitches are prepared?
It weren't really so much an issue at first, but we weren't winning games either way.
All right.
We had a really tough period, and I thought we've got me as a batting pro, we've got Lloydie. You know, let's try and I believe he produced the best pitch he can, but
yeah,
he's an handful on them sort of wickets. Dibber. I actually remember Lowerhouse debut against Dibber, and that was a real sticky wicket. And you know, he's a handful, isn't he? He's a hell of a ball.
Yeah, he is. But
that's the way they went, and yeah, they did some difficult games batting, but it is what it is. And I'm not really one to.
Of course it is.
Not really one to get into that side and start, dictating stuff and.
No.
Can you just appraise Dibber's batting for us, Will? There's a reason I'm asking you this.
Well, he batted himself 11 all the time, didn't he? So I didn't see too much, but he can. Why are you asking this? Something's happened, hasn't it?
Because he once put Johnny Russell in park.
No, it didn't. How many times did he hit it?
It was so funny. It was one of them games where we were winning comfortably and Dibber had come out to bat, so there were loads of crack flying around. It weren't obviously because it was Dibber. It were all very, very good natured. We're having a right laugh, and he just like put big step down and just lofted Johnny straight back over his head for 6.
No,
we're all like, funny.
Oh, brilliant. I'm just looking on here for the couple of questions that came through on Twitter. Something about a kebab. What do you know about that, Will?
I'm not sure. That's Chris Benmore, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to answer. What did he say? What's my favourite kebab?
Yeah.
BW Kebabs, we'll say. There's a place in Burnley.
Where is it? I'm not familiar with that shop, Will. Where is it?
I can't remember. I've moved out of the area. Could be anywhere.
Funny that. Do you know Tiffer reasonably well?
Yeah, I've seen him about. He wasn't at the coaching level he is now when I was there, but I think he was the indoor centre manager then.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's right.
But when I see him, he's obviously a lot more professional now, but he's always dying to get them little wisecracks and gags in, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's but he can't. What a cracking bloke, top bloke.
Yeah. Did he play at all in that 2008 season when you were at Lowerhouse?
Yeah, not all of it though. I don't think.
No, I think handful of games. I think it was.
He didn't see eye to eye with Finch, I don't think, and then I think his coaching was taking off a bit, and he didn't play a full season, but he definitely played. Yeah. In fact, he kept wicket last game of the season, didn't he?
Oh, of course he did. Yeah,
he did.
That was the
Ian
Cup game. Ian Daniel. Yeah, we've discussed him.
Yeah, I heard it actually. It was on Tiffers podcast, weren't it?
Yeah, but I think Blaise did mention it as well, because Blaise was telling the story about Ian Daniel saying, "I really enjoyed proing for you guys, and if you want me to come and do it again, I will." And he got a duck and none for.
We won though, didn't we?
You're all right, Ian. We'll ring you.
Ian.
We won.
We won, didn't we? I'm sure Scott got 5 wickets. Joe called up, John.
Finch got 5, and we lost by 3 wickets.
Right.
But
we'd have signed him if we won, wouldn't
we? You got 60 odd, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, 63.
That's why you thought we won, because you didn't give a toss about the result, did you? If you got 60,
I won. Blaise captained that day and batted himself for 11. I think Chris Harris was bending his back.
Yeah, I think we asked Blaise about it, didn't we? The reason he gave was it was like a nothing fixture, and he wanted to let other people have a go, but absolutely unheard of.
I don't think we played after that. I think the last 3 games got called up. Disappointing end, weren't they?
Yeah, Ian Daniel.
Right, I've gone through everything I wanted to on there. Looking through another question of someone who I didn't know who it was. I think it's from Winton who's talking about. Did anyone else see it on Twitter?
So Reed Cricket Club had asked to get Will's opinion on how they think the potential Lancs knockout round 2 fixture between Reed and Lowerhouse will go, and that was from the Reed Cricket Club Twitter account.
What are the first round fixtures though?
We play Ormskirk, don't we?
All right, so
that's not going to be easy.
Just hypothetically, if we get through and they get through, how do you think that game would go?
You know what?
Either ground.
I would have to say Lowerhouse would be favourites, although I've not seen Reed play for a while. And I think they've signed a good pro actually. A Pakistani fella looks a good player, but Lowerhouse would, especially with Stephen Parry. What a great signing he is. Yeah. So Lowerhouse will always be favourites, I think. It's probably I don't know, Sunday games, depending what team you get out of it, I guess. But, get out and...
What was Stuart Gainer's question?
You still consider yourself an all-rounder or something, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah, bowling one.
Bowling all-rounder.
I saw that, and I've got a bit of... I don't know what he meant by that.
It's a bit of a dig, isn't it, really? I think
is he saying I thought I was an all-rounder when I was there, but I was shit with the ball?
Yeah, either that or he's saying that one of you, either your batting or your bowling is deteriorated, and therefore can you still class yourself as an all-rounder?
Yes, I can.
That's Stuart Gainer, the ace scorer. That's brilliant. Right, we'll have Joe Martin. You know Will for years. You and Paddy have grown up with him, really. Have you any memories about Will and anything to mention about his cricket?
Some are unbroadcastable, I think.
Just try it.
Well, the first one, I went to watch Will play. I don't know whether it was a district game or like a league team game at Worley, and Steve introduced me to a McDonald's breakfast for the first time ever, and I weren't allowed to tell mum or dad that we'd gone for.
But you're allowed to dress up like James Bond.
Absolutely.
My dad leading you astray with him. Coffee and egg McMuffin.
Yeah. But I used to go around to Will's house all the time. We used to go and watch. We used to go and watch football, and I used to go and well, I still do every now and again. But I used to go and make soups with his dad. We used to have an afternoon.
Oh, good God!
We used to have an afternoon making soup. Yeah.
Good times, eh?
Yeah.
Then when I shot you with a BB gun, Joe.
I can, yeah, point blank range.
Yeah. And I was begging you not to tell my dad so he wouldn't take it off me because I just got this belting Colt 45.
Yeah. He shot me.
Was there any reason behind that? Was his soup not up to standard? Maybe he put too much salt in the soup, perhaps, or
a few lumps in the leaking potato.
Yeah, no, he shot me point blank range with the BB gun. And
where did he hit you?
I think it was on my thigh, and it had come up in a bit of a lump. And you know, we were naive at that time. We thought it had gone through. We thought we were embedded in my leg.
Looking for exit.
Don't tell my dad. Yeah, yeah. Don't tell my dad. We had another night where we were watching Liverpool versus
Blackburn.
Blackburn. Stephen made our tea. We'd had eggy bread. You know, we'd never had it. So Steve made eggy bread for us. And Emil Esky was playing at the time. And you know, we didn't think he was a great player. And he scored, and then he scored another. And then I said, I don't know if I said it or whether I was dead. If Emil Esky scores a hat trick, you've got to streak down Green Close.
I'm back.
I'm back. And Liverpool got a penalty. And Danny Murphy was about to put the ball down, and Emil Esky pushed him out of the way and took the ball off him. You know, to get his hat trick. So he ran up, took the penalty, missed. Brad Friedel saved it, but he dived and like parried it back in, and he were past the post, and he missed an open net. So
there was no streak.
Yeah. So the
tux was firmly on.
Very much so. There were kind of discussions whether I'd just had to like take my top off and run down. Yeah. There's yeah.
What? Which trip did we go on, Will? What we've spoke about Blackpool trips on this I think a few times. Did you come on one of them trips?
It was the one where Aggers got punched, weren't it?
Oh, that was the one, right? Okay.
Because it was my fault, according to Aggers.
Right. Okay.
Oh, the belting trips then.
They were good, weren't they?
Is that why you had your cardigan on, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Long stream of women behind me. All wanted to punch you in the head. Anything else, John?
He used to give us all kinds of his old cricket stuff and football stuff. He wants to give me a full Man United. I mean, I support Newcastle, but he gave a full Man United sharp 1999 Champions League full strip.
Still got it.
Right.
Yeah, it might be in the loft. I'm not sure. He also gave me a cricket. I bet you probably might do actually, guys. He also gave me a helmet, a cricket helmet. I think it was your Northern England helmet. And
still got it.
I don't think I have, because, and there's a reason for it, is because I played at Todmorden, and Finchy said I wasn't allowed to wear it.
Bad captain.
Because I had not allowed to wear it, and he told me, he said I had to colour in the badge.
Right.
Very strange.
Yeah, we used to come around, and always, I mean, Will also used to come around and give me a wedgie.
Parting gift, weren't it? Every time.
Yeah, every time, without fail. Yeah, used to pin me down, and that was that. And we used to play on Pro Evolution Soccer, didn't we?
We did, mate.
With Dennis Irwar.
Before I tore the briefs.
Yeah, we used to do that, and then that was that, and then that was how the night followed. Will and Steve would come down, drop some stuff off. We would play on Pro Evolution Soccer. Will would then rip my underpants.
Do you fancy doing it again?
Some serious concerns on here. Some serious concerns. Gary, anything from you? Anything you like to clarify? We will.
No, I don't think so, Jez. Like I say, I wasn't around much of the time. It's been great listening to what went on, though. Yeah, it has. It's brilliant. Dooch, anything?
Couple of quick fire questions. Have you ever fell out with anyone, cricketing wise?
Have I? I don't know.
I don't know. It's not a loaded question. I'm just interested in when you've been a pro and played in all these different leagues. I know some at Bolton clubs have been a bit mouthy when we've come across them. Have you ever had any real battles with any of them, or is it just run-of-the-mill stuff?
Just run-of-the-mill stuff, mate, yeah. They are gobby.
Yeah,
give as good as you get, don't you?
Yeah. Another quick fire question. What have you got against Michael Vaughan?
He's become a right knobby, man, on Twitter.
Yeah.
You've got to agree, haven't you?
I don't like him, but I was just wondering, I've seen a lot of your social media activities against him. I just wondered what would kick that off.
It's the only reason I have Twitter, really. It's the only thing I post, isn't it? That picture of Ricky Ponting nicking him off.
It's like anytime he tweets anything, it could be about something completely unrelated. Yeah, Will mentions Ricky Ponting nicking him off. I wonder if he reads it. I wonder if he knows who you are.
I hope so. That's why I'm doing it. You know, I'll keep going till I get blocked. Anyway, that is.
He'll have staff. He'll have staff.
Well, actually, we'll have staff. Yeah.
Dooch, well, it's funny you should say that. I'm just racking my brains now. I was just going to say, Will, why is he not blocked you? Me and Nicky went to watch the Ashes. You know that was it 2000 and where we got absolutely stuffed and Graham Swan cried off the last test match. 14?
13, 14.
13,
yeah.
13, 14. And we went there, me and Nicky, spent a fortune. Just me and him went, had a right good trip, 3 weeks there. But we went to both the Melbourne and the Sydney test. We got stuffed out of sight, unbelievably. And so we were quite despondent. And Nicky, I think Nicky was new to Twitter, and he started giving Vaughan some real grief. And Gary Hunt stuck up for Vaughan. So Nicky gave him a volley of abuse, and they both kicked Nicky off their line. Said, "We're not going to speak to you again, both of them."
so Nicky's banned, blocked by Michael Vaughan and Gary Hunt.
Yes, on the same night. We were in Australia. We were sat at this bar, and it both came up after about half an hour of each other. Yeah, blocked him. Fantastic. So is there anything else? Will, is there anything you want to, to go through? I really appreciate you coming on this. It's been really enlightening for us. Is there anything you want to chat through or clarify?
No, it's been great. Thanks for having me, lads. I've enjoyed listening to them all. They've been top.
Yeah.
So, pleasure to be on. Yeah.
Good.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Will. You've told us all about your career. You've told us your early years, which can't have been difficult for you. But people, they like listening to things. They want to know about people's history. Certainly when the characters like yourself. So thanks ever so much for coming on, Will. That's been fantastic. Right, thanks very much to Will Driver. Thanks to everyone for listening. Don't forget, just subscribe and tell your mates about it. And thanks very much. And let's hope we see each other in the summer. Joe, I'm going to ask you about, just giving us a quick note, Will's asked. Will you just give us a line of something?
Have you got a backing track?
I don't need a backing track, Will. You know that.
Better a cappella.
Joe Martin, go on.
Who's that knocking on your door? It's gotta be 3:45. Is it you again? Coming round for more. Well,
fantastic.
Needed that, Joe. Thanks, pal.
Right, brilliant, lads. Thanks very much. We'll catch up again soon and have a real fight.
We will, mate. Nice one.
Cheers, Will.
Thanks, Will.
Cheers, boys.
Nice to meet you, Will.
Cheers. You too, guys.
Send Morehouse to save the house.